Hey, I already kind of made some edits to this one on 6.7, but we've got quite a few of these to run through, so let's get to it. The tried a couple different techniques. I'll run it a couple times, but I use just a random number on one of the RGBs that goes from 0 to 255, and I tried that on two of them, just those outer rings. Then I decided to make a variable called color1, and it's a random number between 0 and 255, and I placed it in different parts. So I wouldn't end up with the same color every time, right? And so some of the values are already stuck, and because I was changing one of them, I get different. Kind of a interesting take on the random number. Then this one is fun. So if we take a look at this, we got the red one is going to move left and right? And let's take a look at the way it was made. So it made an ellipse at spot one. So that one's spot one. And that X value was spot one, right? So spot one is a random number between 90 and 155. The important part to remember is that it's between 90, find it. So 90 and 155. So it's going to be in this range right here. Time I run it. So that it's going to keep going right there. And they made the second one, they were referring to the first one where it was going to be, right? But rather than say how far from the left, they did 400 minus spot one. So it's 400 minus wherever spot one was. So it's going to be symmetrical each time. So they just referenced it so that they could get it on the side. We need to do the same thing for that yellow dot there. So if we go ahead, and I'm just going to copy this, Control V, and pop this thing up there. And got my stuff. So I copy and pasted that over. But over here we've got spot 2 already, but really what we need is 400 minus spot 2. So now it's going to take a look at the position of that and subtract it from 400 so it'll play on the right. Now we've got two spots that are yellow because of the fill right there. And it's got spot 2, but then 400 minus spot 2 so that it can go from the right side. So that one's kind of an interesting one, a good challenge there. Then we've got this tree, and if we run this tree right now, it's changing the size of the leaves, the big green part, and the trunk, the height and width of the trunk, right? And so we're getting a random height and a random width within a constraint, 100 to 200 for height. And then if you look at how it's drawing the trunk, we're getting the rectangle equals 200 minus the width divided by 2, right? So that's how it's drawing the, that's the X location, right? For the rectangle, because that's the X and Y location first, and then it's setting the height for it. So the location is based on what the width is, right? And so we take a look at this. Let's just give it a value. What is the value we think of our rectangle right now? So it's probably 150, 200. So they did 200 minus 150, right? And then divided by 2. So it's about 75 is the value we would come up with. And then our height is going to be based on, or our Y location is based on 350 minus the height. So 350 minus whatever gap is there. So that's why it keeps being run based on the center point. So it's getting it placed correctly. So now what it wants us to do is take a look at the leaves and exactly double the width of the tree trunk, right? So the leaves width is right here, and currently it's based on a random number, right? But we want to make it double the tree trunk. So if I take this out of here, and then I come in here and I type the width of the leaves needs to be 2 times the width of the tree trunk, which is just called width, right? And I reset that and run that. Now the leaves are always going to be twice as big as the width of the tree trunk. We can use our operators of plus, minus, multiply, divide to define things. This one has been a little time on already, and we could randomize there. None of this was in here, but I randomized position, right? So the top X value kept changing, and then I randomized the stroke color, right? And the stroke weight. So I made a random color 1, 2, or random colors just standard, then 1 and 2 to be able to change the RGB stroke each time. So I've got a random color for each, the value of 0 to 255. And then my stroke is size is based off of this random number 1 to 10. So it's changing size, it's changing colors, and the top of it is changing the X value. One more. So on this one, all kinds of randoms. I put in randoms for the fills as far as 0 to 255. So we got all kinds of colors on each one. I didn't use variables this time because I wanted them all to be different. And then I also put in some random numbers for the arc and the X and Y location. So the arc's changing each time, and then the location, X and Y, is being changed each time as well. So lots of randoms. All right. Good luck on it. We'll see you around next time.